Hello, my name is VSin, and this is a snapshot of Entwined. Now this game came out on July the 22nd, 2014 for the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 3 in North America, and it also came out on the PlayStation 4 roughly a month prior to this. I believe it was like June 22nd-ish or something. Stupid. Sorry, there's no PSN connection here, but still. So this game is a bit of a timing game. Not so much a rhythm game, but a timing game where you have to do the right action in response to on-screen prompts, for example. That's the baseline gameplay. So first of all, I'm just going to show you... Let's go to how to play first, and just show you a little bit of my thing. In terms of options menu, it's not too much. You have English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese language options, music and sound effect audio sliders, and inverting a particular control, and control sensitivity. That's it. There really isn't much there. Let's just wait for this to load in. Loading times, I feel, are a little bit long. Anyways, this is the how to play. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to control two different characters. The main reason why I like this how to play section, though, is that you see the Vita icon. Again, remember, this game was originally for the PlayStation 4, and it just gives me the warm fuzzies to know that, hey, they actually gave a fuck about the Vita version. I'm just saying. So what you're supposed to do is you're just supposed to move these characters into the gates there. If you miss it completely for some reason, you get that little shake, redness, and it's like, hey, you screwed up, and you're supposed to move the character into that same colored gate, for example. You can also move them around rather freely if you want to, or whatnot. And so the point of the game is that you're supposed to move them at two characters at the same time. Like so, and like so. Also, if you release the sticks, they will just stay in place. I'm not sure why they chose to leave them in place as opposed to resetting them to neutral position, but there you go. And so then after the tutorial, it immediately moves you to the first level, which I will quit, and I will instead pick a different level to show you how the gameplay actually plays out. Let's go to the... fifth... Let's go to the 5th lifetime. So you have 9 lifetimes. These are the way that the story is supposed to convey it. And this is the lifetimes of the fish and the bird. This is the story about a fish and a bird and their journey through time and space and how they are connected to each other but always apart from each other and something like that. Oh, again, we'll show you how this actually works in real time in the story mode. Overall, I would say that like in the earlier levels, it's fairly easy. It's like one set of gates similar to what you saw in that tutorial. You move through it, you react to the next one, and sometimes it's multiple gates, but they will just like all in the same place. Anyways, one of the nice things about this game, or one of the nice things about this game, are the visuals as well as the music. It's a little bit tricky to hear the music with the way I set up my sound, but like it's very atmospheric music, not so much as the blood pumping stuff. What you've also seen are those orb-looking things. What these do, as well as moving through gates do, is fill the gauges in the top left and top right corners of the screen. What your objective is to fill those up, then you press L and R at the same time, and then once you do that, then you will enter a special mode, and then you have to score like multiple gates consecutively in order to get to an ending segment. Anyways, first gripe. You may have noticed the orange orbs. You also may not have noticed the orange orbs. My first gripe is that a lot of the time, these orbs or nodes or whatever the hell you want to call them, really blend directly into the background, which makes them kind of a pain in the ass because, well, you kind of need to get as many of them as possible, and it's rather irritating. It's like, I didn't see it coming. Like, why would you do this game? You're evil. And yes, there are also blue, and I'm showing you an orange environment. Oh crap. Did you see the orange orbs there? Just saying. Anyways, there are also blue environments where the blue orbs do blend in way too much. Like, that doesn't feel like it's trying to be difficult. It feels like they wanted the orange motif and then decided, and realized later, like, oh yeah, it's orange. And then, well, you're a dick. That's about it. Either way, you go through this process over and over again, waiting for everything to fill up. It's somewhat long process. Oh crap. go. Sorry, for a second there, my computer screen actually turned off, and I don't know why. I'm just going through here, and I just screwed up a few of them. I'm not even sure how I managed to screw that one up. And now I'm completely screwing up everything. Oh well. Can't read the patterns, help. Damn you, computer screen, for turning off. Whatever. So you go through this somewhat lengthy process, and yeah, I missed that one completely. And just, like, this is basically how the game plays out up until you fill the bars, which will hopefully happen eventually. Yeah, man. Yeah, the process to filling up the bars feels rather long in terms of story mode. And the reason why I feel that is a valid complaint, I will explain once I get to the end segment, which hopefully won't take too long, I hope. Come on. Maybe one or two more. Maybe this one? Yep. So, screw it. So after you fill up the gauges, you're then supposed to press L and R at the same time. What it'll do is it'll connect them, and then immediately screw it up after, but whatever. What those will do is, now you want to get your consecutive, consecutive gates. And once you get enough in a row, once you get enough gates in a row, or fail miserably again. Yeah, I'm also losing track of the character on the screen because it's just fucking evil. Like, this thing is moving erratically, I'm having trouble controlling it. I will say that the Vita analog sticks are rather shitty for this sort of gameplay. In case you didn't notice, the difficulty does actually ramp up over time throughout the level, which is why I'm suddenly screwing up everything. Come on. Should be after this, right? Nope. These orbs? There we go. Okay, now L and R at the same time. Let's try this again. Nope. Damn you. So the blue side is the one that's screwed up. Okay, now it's okay. Now we need to... I thought that was rotating more. Instead it was straight. There we go. Straight. There we go. Counterclockwise again. Downwards. I overdid it. Oh, orange side fail. Alright, this one's downwards. Damn twitching. What? Really? Okay, downwards, clockwise. Upwards. Almost there. Clockwise. There we go. And then after that, the gauges will move together, turn green, and you move off into some sort of environment at the end of the level. And here you are the dragon. The dragon controls are controlled with both the left and right analog sticks. The way it's controlled, I don't know, it feels kind of clumsy to me for some reason. I mean, I'm the first one to admit that I'm not someone who plays like flight sims or anything like that, but this feels extremely clumsy, even in terms of the flight sims that I hate playing. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the camera controls are wonky, maybe it's because the analog sticks suck, maybe the sensitivity's off, I don't know. What I will say is that you're supposed to use both the analog sticks at the same time in order to move faster, but it's like, I don't know, it feels weird sometimes, and I don't know why. Anyways, what's the other reason why I'm taking you here? Because this is the story. Yeah, again, this is the story of a... did I mention it earlier? I don't know. This is the story of a fish and a bird and their journey through space and time. And after a certain amount of time, you're supposed to move through the gates to gather up their memories, and then they will join together, become the dragon, and fly through some sort of environment like this. And after that, you're supposed to pick up these orbs, which, okay. These orbs, and eventually you get to this part that says L plus R again. That's a lie. It's actually L or R. You have to press L and R first. Then you press L or R. R is do a barrel roll. L is tuck closer together. R is do barrel roll. Both together is do neither. Oops. And then after you expend the bar, then a portal will open to the next zone, and the camera angle is a dick. Another fault with the game. Like, I didn't see anything in it. It clipped through the environment. And then that's how you move on to the next level. Now, let me get into gripes for a second here. Because, again, this is supposed to be a story about a fish and a bird. So what's the problem? The problem is the way that the story is conveyed. Because, well, there are no words, okay? And it's like, okay, it's being conveyed through actions. Like, I'm okay with that. So where's the problem still? The problem lies in the fact of the gameplay. Because the gameplay is very reactive. It's very, I need to do this now. I need to concentrate. Like, again, I'm just going to move through this level without trying to beat it. But you have this environment that's being flashy, that's being distracting. You have objectives that blend in with the environment. And it's just like, why? You're being an asshole. Like, feels like the game being an asshole, really. And so what you end up doing is you end up spending so much time concentrating on the environment that you lose whatever is supposed to be in the story. Because this story is, again, entirely conveyed through symbolism. It's conveyed through the environment around you. It's conveyed through even, like, the way you're moving the characters around. And it's conveyed through the music in the background, which is all very beautiful, but when you have gameplay that distracts from all of that, all of it, like, right now, I'm not paying attention to what's happening around the screen. What I'm paying attention to is what's happening in the middle of the screen. And I screwed that up a little bit, but still. Like, I'm not paying attention to what's happening around the fringes. Like now that there is a pause, it's like, hey, there's yellow, and then it's gone, and I'm paying attention more to the center and trying to figure out which is the right combination while the thing rotates quickly, and then, oh god, I had to do this, and why is that blending into the background? That is my thought process when I'm playing the game. It's a jarbled mess of trying to make all the considerations possible to get to the end of the level and trying to react to stuff that blends into the background. Even if all this symbolism is really great and the art direction is so beautiful, I can't concentrate on that. I'm too busy trying to play the game. Okay? This is not... How should I say it? Let's think of a game like Journey, or a game like Bastion, even a game like Spec Ops: The Line. Those are all considered to be pretty good narrative-driven games. They present a compelling narrative through various methods. But how do they all do that? They all do it through, A, you being able to interact with the world, and B, it's also put in a situation where you have time to stop and think. The only time place where you have time to stop and think is at the end segment. In the middle of gameplay, I don't have time to stop and think about what's going on in the background. What I have to do is I have to concentrate on what's in the middle of the screen, and that causes the rest of the story to be lost in translation. Even if all this is great story, I don't have time to pay attention to it. Okay? That, to me, is a complete and total failure of trying to convey a video game story. Because if I can't pay attention to your symbolism and whatnot, then you don't have a story. If I can't pay attention to your narration, you don't have a story. It's as simple as that. And so, like, at the end of the day, it's like, would I recommend this game? Probably not. Especially not at the price of $10. Because at the price of $10, what it has to be is it has to be a tightly controlled narrative experience. And on those grounds, I believe that Entwined just doesn't do it properly at all. Like, at the fundamental level, it fails. So maybe if it drops in price, we're thinking maybe $5 here. $5, possibly. If you have time to play it through, then get good at the game, then play it through again, then maybe this would be worth your time. But if you don't get the game, like if you're not someone who would get what's going on the screen right now and interpret it well, then imagine trying to interpret it while playing the game. You're not going to interpret it at all. Either way, let's go back to the menu for a bit and just show you around the rest of it. Apart from the 9 levels, there's also the challenge mode. Challenge mode I kind of suck at. It's mostly the same thing. The main difference, though, is that you have a maximum of 3 screw-ups for the entire level. And if you screw up 3 times, it instantly fails. You can see my high score is 148. You need 180 in water to get to here, 160 in wood to unlock fire, etc., etc. They will have different patterns. So yeah, I'm a very inconsistent gamer. You even noticed in the earlier segment I screw that up a lot, so no. Options menu I already talked about at the start. How to play. Credits. Credits, normally I wouldn't show this, but I feel like I have to show it. So first of all, it's like, oh, it's a koi fish and like a stork. Like, hey, it's designed by an Asian. What were you expecting? But this is the part where I want to point it out for a second. Like, okay, Pixel Opus, it's a medium-sized indie team. It's like, thanks to Sony. But then look at all this Sony staff that was dedicated to having something to do with the project. Even if they're not like actively working on it, they all had a hand in the development of this game. And this is a fairly long credit section. If only like having the multiple languages set up or having the multiple platforms enabling it. People threw a lot of resources behind this game for something that I believe is, while beautiful, is still flawed as a game and as an experience. Which, this part really makes me sad. Look how long this credits list is, and it's just, like, this isn't thank you to people. These guys clearly had a hand in doing something to do with this game. And, like, you can even hear the music in the background. It's really nice music, and if I keep letting the credits run, it's really nice music, but I don't know. Let's just get to the point. Would I recommend this game? No. No. Because, at least not at the current price of $10, because we're talking about a game that you have to understand the narrative to really have a 1.5 hour long game, because it really takes 1.5 hours to beat the story mode. In order for that to be worth the $10, you have to understand the story. And the game works against your ability to understand the story. That's the problem. Like, you really have to be this, not just someone who has this general sort of, I hate to say it, but pretentious mindset. You have to have this mindset so you can instantly assess the environment around you, say, oh, that's symbolic of that, and then go back to playing the game. And as a transition, oh, that's symbolic of that. Symbolism, break, gameplay, symbolism, gameplay, and just bounce between them instantly. Because if you can't do that, either the symbolism will be lost on you, or the game is going to be a pain in the ass. You have to be a very specific type of person for Entwined to really be worth your while. Which is so sad because of all the beautiful, admittedly low fidelity, low tech requirement, but still very beautiful visuals, beautiful music. Like TLDR, it doesn't do enough as a 1.5 hour experience to justify $10. If it becomes cheaper, consider it. But otherwise, you probably shouldn't touch this game. As much as I honestly enjoy it, I can't recommend it to people. My name has been Vsin. Thanks for watching.